Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome once again to Coach Powell Training and Development's own Keeping It Cool, making sure that you have everything you need to make your small business succeed. This is a great day and a great opportunity for us to come together, talk about the things that matter most to you. Today on Keeping It Cool with Coach Powell and Coach Powell Training Development, we are talking about our new adventure. Our great new adventure is called the literally, it's called the Data Center Exchange. We're making sure that everybody knows about how to come together all over in the all of the data center supply industry, how to come together in your community to create more opportunities, not just for the community, but for the whole entire small business ecosystem within your world. We are introducing a concept that we created right here in Northern Virginia, right here where it all happens for data centers. And this is going to be an amazing show. You're going to love everything we're talking about today, everything we're sharing with you. I'd like to take a moment before we get started with the show just to say thank you for so many of you all have participated with me in different events and things I've been doing over the last few weeks. It's been an incredible week. I am literally burnt out from all of the introvert energy I've had to expend. And as most of you all know, I don't get rejuvenated by all these social events and social activities, but I do know that it's super important to engage in your communities and engage the small businesses that you're around. And it started out last Saturday. I had a beautiful workshop, community learning and leadership involving AI, technology, and environmental justice. And we did we had a great opportunity right here at a country club here in Northern Virginia. And we sat down with quite a few community leaders and started to discuss the things they needed to know to empower themselves. And I'll be delivering that course all over the country for the next year, sponsored by Shoemate Engineering and my good friends who always, keep amazing things happening for the data center community. And I'm so proud of them and I'm so proud of the course. And I this is the second cohort that we've gotten through the course. So if you guys want to take that course and you want to participate, it's a full day Saturday course. You got to come all day if you want to get a certificate, but it is great for community leaders of all types. It's great for data supply center people and anybody who's interested in making sure that AI tech and environmental justice is done correctly. It's done in a way that uplifts and keeps the community coming back over and over and over and over again. Okay, the second thing I want to celebrate is we launched the inaugural event where we first presented for the first time the Dulles Collaborative Edge. The Dulles Collaborative Edge is the type of small, I'm going to call it the data center strike team, right? So what we do is basically learning to reshape our region and making sure that the communities that we are involved in when it comes to everything in the supply chain from data centers, everything from political, economic, social, technological, legal, and the environmental aspects are all considered as we bring the community together to talk about what can be done to make sure that we are turning this rapidly growing industry into a shared opportunity and an accountability for the community, which is going to make a stronger Dulles corridor. And so we're piloting this program here in Northern Virginia. If you know somebody who should be involved with the Dulles Collaborative Edge, whether they're a community leader or a data center industry professional, data center supplier or developer, and anybody who's involved with the industry, workforce development, anything that has to do with technology and AI moving forward, we'd love to have them think about becoming a part of the group. The group met for the first time face to face live last Thursday morning. That was a phenomenal opportunity. Followed up that same evening, we did a wonderful networking function that we did. Just the fraternity brothers and Shoemate Engineering decided we wanted to put together a special event and we called it Elevate. And we really brought the community together and really taught people the magic art of networking. Most people think networking is about introducing yourself, introducing your competence, and bringing forth the skills and talents that you have. And yes, it is about that, but more importantly, it's about building trust. In order to build trust, you have to know how to share the right kinds of information about your values, about your character, and about the things that matter most to you, so that people they don't get to know just what you do, but they get to know who you are. And so we did some amazing networking strategies. We practiced those on Thursday night at the Tower Club here in Northern Virginia. It was an amazing event, and I look forward to bringing out some of the strategies and techniques that I've learned over the years, that have been super successful in helping people understand how to put together the right kinds of professional relationships in the right ways at the right time. Very much like I said earlier, I'm an introvert, so for me, doing these things, doing these events is a phenomenal opportunity for me to get out and share a lot of the training and development that I have put together for people, involving some of the latest and greatest neuroscientific strategies and techniques. And it always works out well because it's based on the human DNA, how we function as human beings. And so it's a great opportunity again to come out and play and hang out with the right kinds of people. I see my friend Leah is jumping on. I thank you very much for coming out there. Leah, good to see you. Thank you for participating and engaging with us. Today's show is going to be phenomenal. As I said, if you haven't already shared the workshop that we're delivering, um, with your friends and associates and so on and so forth, whether you watch on a Facebook, LinkedIn, or wherever you're dialing in from, Instagram, definitely share what we're doing today. Definitely give us a thumbs up. Definitely write down where you're coming from. If you're coming from, the East Coast, the West Coast, anywhere around the globe, let us know where you're coming from. I'd like to give you a shout out and shout out your area. It's so nice to have so many friends and family and connections, all over the world, and that participate in this program, and you're just one of them. I thank you for you. If you have something, and I want to make sure I mention this program is a business friendly program, and so what I'd love for you to do is, if you have a special event, if you have a website, if you have a program, a process, a strategy, something that you would like to share with everyone, go ahead and drop it. Drop the links right in the comment section. Let's make sure that we don't keep you a secret, because again, we invented this program to make sure that entrepreneurs and business leaders all over the world had an opportunity to share their thoughts, their ideas, and in the events that you have going on, the books that you have, or whatever you've got going on that you could share, and you can share it in share a link in the chat. We want to make that an open and friendly opportunity, so that no matter where you're calling in or watching from, again, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere we broadcast, that people should see what you bring to the table and what you have to offer. And feel free, just to share it, share whatever you got going on, because again, we want to make this a business friendly opportunity. And if you have any questions about the data center industry, which is what we're going to talk about for the next couple series, and how it might affect your small business, definitely drop that in the chat. We'd love to talk to you about it. Today's topic, super special. What are we talking about today? Today, we are literally helping the community understand a little bit more than just information. We're going to give you a practical understanding of what's happening now in the data center industry. We're going to talk clearly, and we're going to help you decide how you want to help shape the future of the data center world. Right. So we're going to give you some clarity about the data center boom, what's really happening out there. We're going to talk about some of the main issues that are out there, especially those that affect the small businesses that we deal with and we work with all the time. We're going to talk about maybe a constructive path forward. If you're thinking about coming and being involved in the industry, what do you need to know? Who you need to talk to? Who do you need to be accountable to? And how should you be accountable to the community in some kind of mutually beneficial way? And then we're going to teach you how to ask better questions about who pays for what. what protections are enforceable, and what happens after you've got the approval for the community to put forward whatever you're going to do, whether it's AI or technology or data centers or semiconductors or anything that you're doing. How do you make that work in the community and make sure that you're not um, leaving folks behind or bringing forward the wrong people, right? In that process. So this all of it super, super, super important. So let's get started with a quick little story. All right. And this is the wrong there we go. That's where it is. That's what I'm looking for right there. Okay. Let's start with a confession. Most of us, when we think and when we talk about the cloud, we talk about it like it's some peaceful floating digital marshmallow in the sky. We say, they saved it to the cloud. And suddenly our vacation photos, our tax firms, our school projects, our medical portals, banking apps, playlists, streaming shows, and group chats disappear into the great invisible beyond. But here's the plot twist. The cloud is not a cloud. It's not wearing a halo. It's not hovering politely above traffic on Route 28. The cloud is an actual building. In actuality, it's a lot of buildings. It has walls, wires, lights, cooling systems, backup generators, security fences, service roads, power needs, water needs, work permits, tax deals, and neighbors. In other words, the cloud has a zip code. And around the Dulles corridor, that zip code may be right down the road from your school, your business, your church, your favorite shortcut to a park that you love, or right there in your backyard. Now, I'm not here to wave a finger at technology. Why? Because I like my GPS. I like my email when it works. I like streaming movies and videos without driving to the video store like 1997. Technology is not the villain in this story. The real question is whether the infrastructure behind the technology will be planned with people or around people. That is the heart of the Dulles Collaborative Edge. It is to build with us, not around us. If data centers are going to reshape our roads, our grid, our water systems, and our land, our local economy, then the people who live here should be not be handed a microphone after the cake has already been baked. We should be in the kitchen. We should know the recipe. We should be able to say, that's too much sugar, or who's paying for the oven? And can we make sure everyone actually gets a slice? Because this is not about square footage or megawatts. It's about trust. It's about schools and jobs. It's about small businesses and utility bills. It's about clean water, reliable power, safe roads, tree canopy, public health, and whether local people have a real say before the future gets poured into concrete. Let me be honest. Zoning hearings are not usually where joy gets to stretch. Nobody says, what would be make a great Saturday? A 400-page staff report and 3 hours of acronyms. But the decisions made in those rooms actually shape real life. They shape what we hear at night, what our children get to see on the way to school, where the local workers are trained for new jobs, and whether public benefits are promised in a headline or written into actual agreements. The Dulles Collaborative Edge makes this work less lonely, less confusing, and a lot more powerful. It brings people together so residents don't have to become overnight experts in electrical infrastructure by themselves. Educators do not have to build workforce pathways alone, and small businesses do not have to wonder from the outside whether opportunity is passing them by. This is the fun part. When the right people get in the same room, the conversation changes. Residents bring real life mapping. Engineers bring the technical map. Educators bring the talent map. Businesses bring the opportunity map. Environmental advocates bring the impact map. Young people bring the future map. Put those maps together, and suddenly the community's not lost, it has direction. So now let's talk about the practical stuff because inspiration is nice, but nobody joins a collaborative just because the brochure has a nice font. People want to know, if I show up, what happens? What do I gain? How does it help my neighborhood, my school, my business, or my family? Members gain clarity. They gain plain language and explanations of what is being proposed, what decisions are coming, who has the authority, and when public input can actually make a difference. In other words, fewer mystery acronyms, fewer surprise hearings, and fewer moments where everyone whispers, wait, what did they just approve? Members gain better questions, not is this good or bad, but how much power will this actually use? Who pays for the infrastructure? What protections are enforceable? Where are the jobs really? What happens after we give this approval? These good questions are like flashlights, right? They make it much harder for important details to hide in the corners. Here's the choice before all of us. We can be spectators in our communities and in our world, watching the future arrive one permit, one substation, one road change, and one closed door negotiation at a time, or we can be co authors. We can help write the standard. We can help define the benefits. We can help decide what responsible growth should look like in the place we call home. And to be clear, this is not about choosing technology and community. That's like asking whether you want the engine or the steering wheel on your car, right? We need both. We need innovation and we need direction. We need investment and we need accountability. We need powerful technology. And yes, we need public trust, strong enough to hold on to it. The Dulles Collaborative Edge is how we grab the steering wheel together, not to slam on the brakes, but to make sure that the road leads somewhere worth going. So here's my invitation. If you are a resident of Northern Virginia, bring your street level wisdom. If you're an educator, bring your students' future. If you're a business owner, bring your eye for opportunity. And if you are an environmental advocate, bring your love of land, water, air, and trees. If you're a public official, bring your responsibility to govern with people, not just for them. If you are in the work in technology or data centers, bring your knowledge and bring your willingness to build trust. Do not worry if you're not an expert. Most people are not born understanding electrical load forecasters or water cooling systems or land use maps or tax incentive structures. I know I don't understand any of that stuff, but that's why collaboration matters. You need you don't need to know everything to have a voice. You need to have curiosity, honesty, and the willingness to show up before the final vote. You see, my friends, the cloud has a zip code. Let's make sure it also has neighbors who are informed, organized, impossible to ignore. Let's choose the edge where technology serves the community. Let's choose the Dulles Collaborative Edge. At the beginning, I said the cloud has a zip code, right? Let me end here by saying something even more important. The cloud can also have a consciousness, not because corporations suddenly became generous, not because governments always get it right, not because communities automatically agree. The cloud gets a consciousness when people insist that the invisible systems become visible. that provider and that private power meets public purpose, and that progress is made by the lives it improves. This is our moment on the edge. An edge can divide, or an edge can deliver. Our job is to bring people closer and closer and help them connect. The Dulles Collaborative Edge is an invitation to connect innovation with justice, infrastructure with imagination, and growth with people who make a place worth growing in. Let's build a digital future that is not only powerful, but worthy. Let's choose the edge where technology serves the community. Let us choose Dulles Collaborative Edge. My name is Coach Powell, and I am the captain of Dulles Collaborative Edge, a group within a larger organization of Team Network. Among other things, I am the founder of Coach Powell Training and Development and the co-founder of the Roundtable. And most recently, the director of environmental justice and community development for Shoemade Engineering. I hope that this talk delivers the promise. I hope that it gave you, as I said earlier, more clarity about this data center storm, this boom, and what can be done about it. I hope that it gave you some simple ways to explain the issue. Remember the metaphor of the stove, right? I hope that you have a constructive path forward. And by all means, I hope that you have what you need to start asking better questions, like who benefits from this thing, this new technology, this new AI infrastructure? Who pays? Who's responsible for the fees and associated? What are the protections, and how are those protections being enforced after the fact? What happens to the community once we give the final approval? These are all the questions that we tend to answer, and we want to make sure we focus on at the Dulles Collaborative Edge. And we hope that you will recommend service providers, professionals, people who are involved in the ecosystem of everything involving AI technology and environmental justice. So we can come together and do what we need to do as a community to make great decisions that are win-win for everybody involved. We want residents, HOA leaders, we want planning commissioners, we want workforce development partners, we want small businesses all up and down the supply chain, faith leaders, civic organizations, environmental and conservative advocates. We want utility, energy, and infrastructure experts, technology and data center professionals, labor unions, trade force, workforce advocates, landowners, farmers, rural communities. We want the legal people. We want the accountants. We want all of the finance professionals, and then finally, we want emerging leaders. Anybody who's responsible for these companies that are empowering the communities, the developers, the investors. We want you at the table. We want you to be a part of the collaborative effort that is the Dulles Collaborative Edge. Okay, that's my final commercial. That's all I have to say about the Dulles Collaborative Edge. Um, and I want to make sure that if there is something that you need to know, something that you want to understand about the whole data center community and how it's affecting you, drop that question in the chat, because I may not be able to answer all the questions because I'm no engineer. I'm just a community guy. I'm a community leader. I like to coordinate and bring people together. But I do know that thousands of people watch this program, and I might not be able to give an answer to your question, but they might be able to give an answer to your question. So no question is too small, or no question is wrong. And by the way, you know, once it's in the chat, it's in the chat forever. So you can always come back and engage and follow through and create opportunities for yourself. I wanted to make sure I post this because I love this lady, and I think she's awful special. Um, And this is a program that I've participated in myself, and I can, whenever I can, I try to reach out to it. This is from my good friend Leah. If anyone is looking for a guest speaking spaces, I host a Wealth Wednesday live, meaning she can reach out to you. You can come with her and look for an opportunity to share. Reach out to her, enjoy a cup of coffee in the chat, and explore. This is all online, it's virtual, so you don't have to worry about showing up. You do have to think about the time conversion, right? Because Leah does everything West Coast time, right? So you have to think about that. But other than that, it's a great opportunity for you to share ideas and spaces. If you're a thought leader in any genre or opinion, I definitely want you. I would respect anybody who reaches out to Leah, because she's gonna have she's gonna make ask you some great questions and give you a great platform, and it's always going to be a great experience. So that's for my friend Leah. Thank you so much, Leah. Um, and she comes from Monterey, California, just in case you want to know. Let me see. Let me see. I think I got all the questions answered, and did all the shout outs that I need to do. Again, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. We're going to end the show a little quickly today because I got a lot going on that I got to recover from before I get involved with even more activities for this weekend. So I look forward to hanging out with you guys as soon as I possibly can. If you have any questions, listen, my number is scrolling across the screen. You can reach me at the hashtag 9 Step Guru. And I am so excited to continue to bring good information, good people, good strategies in front of you all as we continue this sojourn on the new episodes of Keeping It Cool with Coach Powell Training Development, and Shoemate Engineering. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. Bye now.